Look at all the goodness that's in front of us for springtime. Hockey and basketball gearing up for the April gauntlets. Baseball beginning its long trek into the dog days of summer. Sports, concerts, events galore. It's gonna be a busy time for us all. And you may be thinking about securing tickets to events like these. I know where I'm going, and it's right to SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. With their handy-dandy app, I can simply go on my phone and access over 70,000 events at any given time. Once again, I have to consider hockey in all its glory. SeatGeek sorts all available tickets from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale. It gives me a sneak peek from where I could be sitting. And all tickets are backed by their buyer guarantee. If you've been watching me, you know the drill by now. Use code TREE to save $20 off your first purchase. Over 35 million downloads prove me right in my choice. And that, my friends, is with SeatGeek, a trusted ally in the ticket market indeed. Now on to the video. You know, I was working on an NHL trade deadline video before this. Everything lined up. The script was ready, I was gathering footage, did the voiceovers, was about to put together something worthy of hockey in its majesty. But then something more desirable came available to me. I decided to drop the project and pivot towards the hot new flame. That's called foreshadowing, kids. We moved to NFL free agency, a time where players are brought riches beyond their wildest dreams. Until the guaranteed money runs out. Then they're either restructured to hell or thrown out on their ass to try again. But with the salary cap being a social construct, it doesn't really matter. It culminates in a tale of turncoats and treachery. This kind of madness definitely is so Raven. You thought it ended with the Tyler Loop mess? That whiff was merely child's play. Baltimore's undergoing a transformation unlike any other. And not just the head coach. Nearly every major free agent of theirs is leaving. John Harbaugh took a bunch of players for his own, including Isaiah Likely in his unlikely hands. Did have a hell of a catch against the Steelers, though. Tyler Linderbaum got paid a shitload of money to head to the sultry sands of Las Vegas, the highest paid center in football history. Those were simply the bigger ones. And with the core still intact after a year of ailments and failure, the Ravens have many issues that need addressed. Most importantly, edge rusher. Baltimore had the third fewest sacks in the league last season. It fucked them raw on defense. Kyle Van Noy was visibly showing his age. Adolphe Alway was a complete mess before getting a jolt with the Bolts. Nnamdi Madubuike's career itself is in jeopardy due to a neck injury. And Mike Green. No comment. The Raven way is to let a problem fester for too long and then swing for the fences with a replacement. Remember when they had that running back problem a few years ago? The who's who of 2017 in their backfield? They went out and got King Henry. Then the Ravens lived happily ever after. When John Harbaugh remembered to actually use him. But who would be a viable option? The edge rusher market's kinda thin. Trey Hendrickson's the best one, but his market will be intense. Reuniting with Adolphe Alway? In your dreams. Would pay? The wildcards of Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb? The who's who of 2019? Yeah. But like all degenerates, Baltimore looked to Vegas. There's one man that can solve their woes. Maxx Crosby. 6 years sober and shredding quarterbacks in tandem. A relentless rusher and a rocky relationship with the Raiders. Crossing over the Mendoza line has its drawbacks, and it came in the form of shelving a visibly injured Crosby for knee surgery. Max was so livid at being taken out, he stormed out of the building never to return. For a day or two. His rehabilitation continues in earnest, but rumors swirl about his departure to places unknown. The time has come to strike. Baltimore enters into an arranged marriage pact for Mad Max. With 2 first-round picks? For a guy who had meniscus surgery in January? That is a steep fucking price to pay, but it'll be worth it in the end. Premium talents deserve premium prices, and the deal will be confirmed at the start of the NFL season. Prepare yourselves. The ceremony's about to begin.
Do you, Baltimore, take Maxx Crosby to be your lawful edge rusher in sickness and in health for 2 first-round picks till the day his contract expires?
I don't. I choose Trey Hendrickson! Oh. Okay then. There's so many damn layers to this that it makes an onion look flat. A butterfly effect that'll ripple across multiple franchises potentially for multiple seasons. Baltimore got cold feet at the 11th hour and jilted their edge-rushing pride to be at the altar. But there'll be no repercussions from the league for this, I believe. What the Ravens did was unethical, but not illegal. The NFL season didn't officially begin until Wednesday. Moves aren't official until then, everything before is just a legal tampering period. It's the classic choice of a man suffering midlife crisis. The smoking hot foreign girl, or the smoking hot foreign girl that doesn't cost you 2 firsts, but is older and has more injury concerns. Ravens fans may have shaved their head in honor of the deal, but that's a sacrifice they're willing to make. Seriously, this poor bastard posted the tweet a half hour before the deal was publicly called off. If that isn't a jinx, I don't know what the fuck is. The Ravens say it's because of a failed physical and long-term ramifications of the surgery, but let's be real, that's just a convenient excuse. Baltimore noticed that Trey Hendrickson's market wasn't as robust as assumed and pounced at an opportunity. To become king of the North, you sometimes have to stab people where it's taboo, choosing the ladder of chaos and plunge silver and black into a bottomless pit. This straight up screws the Raiders with a rusty pipe. Baltimore's pullout left them with egg all over their face. Las Vegas made moves with the idea that Crosby was gone for 2 firsts. They spent a shit ton of money in free agency with the extra cap space. They brought in his goddamn replacement in Quiddy Pay. Max and his family were in the Ravens building when everything happened, for God's sake! And in the most awkward reunion possible, Mad Max is still in silver and black. For what it's worth, the Autumn Wind will be honoring the contracts given out before the ultimate betrayal. Now Crosby walks back in shame to Raiders HQ to continue his rehab in spite of everything that happened. Too many questions to answer now. Is it too late to repair the relationship, or can it be salvaged? If it's untenable, can the Raiders get anything close to their original return with fewer suitors for his services? Hey, maybe he can join Geno Smith with the Jets. Fucking Geno Smith with the Jets. God, time's a circle. Do the Ravens realize what they just did? Their actions have all but pissed off a shitload of teams, not just the Raiders. Indianapolis had Trey Hendrickson on their hook and were about to reel him in. Then Baltimore swooped in like a hawk and ripped him off with a shitload of money. There were more than a few other teams interested as well. The Bills were hot on Trey's tail, but were forced to pivot to Bradley Chubb and hope he stays healthy. Philly was eager for his services and more. But who this really fucks? The Bengals. Trey's now going up against the team that lowballed the shit out of him in negotiations twice a year. And petty revenge is a hell of an intoxicating aroma. Cincy's insatiable cheapness cost them their best player on D, even if he barely played last year due to core muscle surgery. But don't you worry about the Bungles. They may have a terrible defense that just got significantly worse with a first-round pick with 1 fucking sack, but reinforcements are on the way. Boy Maffey, he had 2 whole sacks last year. They're paying him $20 million a season. It's fine, they got Brian Cook from Kansas City as well. I love me a good conspiracy, but the reality is that Baltimore merely played the game set in front of them. They made one offer for a guy, realized there was a significantly more appetizing one available once they got their serving, and decided to pivot before everything got finalized. Trey Hendrickson doesn't cost 2 precious first-round picks. They need those to reload. It's extremely shady and quite devious, but the Ravens are only interested in one thing: taking back the North. If they do that, nobody says a damn thing about this move and its repercussions. Look at the Vegas Golden Knights. They fucked over numerous players in their quest, but you know what happened in the end? They won a cup. All the backstabbing got buried under a 35-pound trophy. Eric DeCosta's gonna go to the media and shed crocodile tears about the trade falling through, but he knows what he's doing. He gets the premium edge rusher the Ravens needed and keeps his draft picks. Lucky or not, it's Machiavellian scheming at its finest. Although apparently they wanted both? That would have been interesting to see if they could even get the Capits to work. Besides, why were we all that surprised? Baltimore did the same shit with Ryan Grant back in 2018. Dude failed his physical. They pulled out of the deal and signed Michael Crabtree to fight Aqib Talib for his chain. And catch passes from time to time. Shit, the whole situation with Lamar's practice routine when injured was suspect as all hell. The Ravens will rue this day as the NFL never forgets. For a few months. Then it's business as usual. You know what'd be cruel and hilarious? Baltimore somehow still ends up with Maxx Crosby. Never say never.
One of the key things is to, you bring the player in and try to get as much information as you can. We did that, and we were not able to complete the process of acquiring the player based on, our assessment of the situation. Very, very, I think, disappointing.